It is Monday night, and we are live for the season finale for the Elite Performance Industries Late Model Shootout Series tonight. The Islander in 125 from the Myrtle Beach Speedway. I am Jeff Pye Jr., joined by Bill Tomer in the ITZR broadcast booth. And Bill, we've done it 12 weeks, 4 drivers left in this championship race, and it all comes down to tonight.
Yeah, it's it, Jeff. This is the final race of the season, the opportunity for us to finally crown a champion after 12 nights of racing. And man, I am super excited. 4 drivers going for the championship tonight. One of them going to be crowned, I guess it's a season 10 Late Model Shootout Series championship, but we know there's been more seasons than that. I think this is about season 19.
Yeah, and this will be the first one for the late model stock here on iRacing, and that would be big to be the first champion of the ITZR Late Model Stock Series. Peyton Howell, Josh Cottle, Josh Parrish, and Jackson Lewis, the 4 drivers going for the championship tonight. Bill, they are all sitting in that top 10 in practice right now. The cream has risen to the top. Peyton Howell, fastest overall, 19.243. Just slightly behind him, Josh Cottle, 19.251. Josh Parrish sits 6th on the board, and looks like Jackson Lewis he's about 11th or 12th right now.
I mean, I bet Jackson Lewis is probably thinking, I've got problems, but you know he doesn't. He's fine. I don't think he ran a ton of laps, Jeff, and in fact, I don't show him currently connected, so that's not good, but actually maybe he is. Maybe it's just not on the racetrack. But here we go, Jeff. We're about to go qualifying. This is where the money starts to really become a big deal. These guys want to make a good qualifying lap, get a good starting spot for tonight's main event.
Yeah, qualifying very important tonight because there is no invert in this finale. It is a straight up start based on qualifying. So your fastest driver is going to try to get on the racetrack and turn the best lap. 5 minutes of qualifying tonight for their 2 best laps as cars starting to hit the racetrack. One of those drivers, Baby Shark, Peyton Howell, hitting the racetrack.
One of your final 4, and Jeff, you can see he did the paint scheme.
He did. He's got the Baby Shark paint scheme tonight for Peyton Howell, and his the chat is blowing up already for Peyton Howell. I see Michaela Brooklyn is here. Let's see, Kelsey here. Crystal Clark in the house because Donald Clark is back, so glad to see you, Crystal. Bree in the house.
Josh Parrish on the speedway in the 55 car, another one of your playoff drivers.
First lap on the board. First lap on the board, Peyton Howell, 19.261, just slightly slower than his practice speed. Josh Parrish goes P2, 19.281. Jonathan Sanford with a 390, going to get bumped by Jackson Lewis, so 3 of your playoff drivers sit 1, 2, 3 right now. Trevor Edwards going to separate them with a 19.304. Now he gets bumped back to 4th place by Dylan Bates, who goes 19.296. Peyton Howell still at the top with Josh Parrish. Now Dylan Bates sits 3rd.
Well, Parker Traves making his return to the speedway. I didn't even see him load in, Jeff. I didn't know Parker was here.
New quick time. Josh Cottle, 19.258. Fastest overall so far for Cottle, and that puts 3 playoff drivers 1, 2, 3. Blake Throneberg going to go 4th fastest, 19.283 for Blake. Bumps Dylan Bates back to the 5th spot. Trevor Edwards 6th. Rick Rube up to 7th on the board in the Islander in car.
It's his sponsor's night, Jeff. It's his sponsor's race. He's got to go fast.
Yeah, it is showing off here for Islander in, but that is bumping Jackson Lewis. Jackson's now bumped by Eric Tracy. He's back to the 10th spot here in qualifying. Reagan Parent, one of the drivers that'll race tomorrow night for a championship, getting some extra practice here. He's taken to the racetrack.
Trying to figure out who else is on the Kieran Church. Kieran Church currently on the racetrack as well.
Brett Suggs, P3, 19.268. 3rd fastest now for Brett Suggs.
Jeff, I think Brett Suggs has a tribute card to, I think his dog passed away this week, I feel like I saw that somewhere, but he's got his dog on the hood.
Yeah, I see that. It says Lily Suggs on the side, so I did not hear about that with his dog, but that is I feel bad for Brett. That's terrible.
It's gonna make me sad every time I look at that car. Cole Cabry on pit road in the 54 car. I don't think we've seen Cole since the beginning of the season.
Well, look out, Bill. Some of the heavy hitters have come in late tonight. One of those drivers, Cody Kelly, he's on the racetrack now, and we know Cody can lay down a lap. And he goes P4 right off the bat, 19.275 for Cody Kelly.
Cody started the season really strong here, but real life racing got in the way and couldn't make some of the races and fell out of the point standings. But Cody, obviously, one guy you want to watch every night when he puts the helmet on.
I think the reaction, too, I heard from some of the guys that are racing for points tonight when he signed in was, why is he here? Why is he racing?
Because he still wants to win, and Elliott Carlson had to get into the turtles through 1 and 2 on his qualifying effort. That's not good for the undercarriage.
Casey Kelly, also late entry tonight. He's going to take to the racetrack here.
Now that's one you can complain about, I think, because Casey hasn't been here all season. A couple of guys making their return to the ITZR Late Model Shootout Series. Of course, we talked about Donald Clark, Casey Kelly, another one of those drivers. We haven't seen him in a while. And yeah, they show up on championship night, Jeff, just to show up all these points drivers.
Well, it's your last chance to race because we go into our little off season. Who knows when we'll be back? So these guys realize, hey, if I want to race some with ITZR, I better do it tonight, or it's now or never. It's Casey Kelly on the racetrack. Just about 3 seconds left. I don't even know if he's going to get a lap in here.
Well, he'll be coming from the back because he did not get a lap in as he went poof on the front straightaway. Time ran out on the 5 car. Jeff, we get about 5 minutes to warm up. We'll probably only give him about 2 minutes. These guys get an opportunity to do a little bit more warm up.
And while we do that, we got a word from Simrat Market because all of our non-playoff drivers are competing for a $25 bonus. The driver that scores the most points over these last 3 races will be crowned the Simrat Market champion, get $25 added to their season payout, and we got a little word from them.
Jeff, we appreciate Simrat Market giving the guys not in the championship run something to run for. Not just bragging rights, but actually throw some money down for those guys. Like you said, $25 to the guy that wins the non-championship points in the championship rounds. So what do you think, Jeff? We're going to try to bet on this one at all? You see Barney's got the flag in the air, giving him the checkered flag for warm-ups. Well, it's going to be tough. I'm not picking anybody. I'm not doing it. That's the wrong night to do it, Jeff. You don't want to do it on championship night when you're running for that championship. But I mean, we've seen it all season long. 125 laps here is a long time, and these guys are gonna have to save tires, play strategy. So who knows what Jackson Lewis can cook up by the end of this race? So we can't count him out. Yeah. Starting in the third position in the number 33 machine, that is Brett Suggs. And on his outside, we already talked about this guy in qualifying. He has won already this season. That's the 75 car, Cody Kelly. Brendan Lee's going to roll off P7 in that number 10 car. And on his outside in the number 91 machine, that is Dylan Bates. The ravishing one, Rick Rube, is going to start 11th in the number 81 Islander in machine. And on the outside of him, starting in the number 66 car, that is Eric Tracy. Jackson Lewis, your fourth playoff driver, is going to start 15th, Jeff, all the way back in 15th. And on his outside, starting 16th, that is the 65 car, Aaron Abendroth. Gotcha, Jeff. Go ahead.
All right, starting, where do we leave off? Jackson Lewis, the 15th
Corey Bigley
spot?
starting in the 17th spot.
All right, starting 17th tonight will be the 28 of Corey Bigley on the outside of him, the 88 of Kyle Meyer.
Zach Onen's going to start P19, the number 31 machine, and on his outside, starting 20th, it's Jonathan Sanford.
Starting 21st tonight, the 60 of Parker Traves on the outside of him, and the 25 machine will be Devin Rogers.
Starting in the 23rd position, making his return to the series in the number 9, it is Sean Hayes, and on his outside, starting in the 24th position in the 22, that's Kieran Church.
Starting 25th tonight in the 40 machine will be Donald Clark on the outside of him. The 72, it'll be Bladen Edwards.
Elliot Carlson rolls off P27 in the 09, and Casey Kelly starts P28 in the 5.
And starting shotgun on the field, the 20 of Ricky Howell getting some practice for tomorrow night's championship run. But here we go on the pole tonight, Josh Cottle. And on the outside of him, Baby Shark, Peyton Howell, two of your championship drivers, going to start from the front row here at Myrtle Beach.
Pace truck again, Jeff. Richard Petty.
Well, we got a huge field tonight. The car count's back up again because, again, as we said, final race of the season. A lot of names that only ran one or two races here tonight to take part in the finale.
Giving them an opportunity to get around this racetrack. I'm loving Peyton Howell's car. Thank you, Bladen Edwards, for making that happen this week. He painted the number 52 so it would look like a Baby Shark. Peyton Howell running the shark teeth. I gave him the Flying Tigers P40, Jeff. That's how we came up with that one.
That's pretty awesome. Josh Cottle going to have control of this start. He's got to wait till the center of 3 and 4. Then at any time, he can take us green flag racing. The season finale for the Elite Performance Industries Late Model Shootout Series. The Islander in 125 is underway. Cottle is out to the front. Peyton Howell going to get in line in the second. Now the race is on between Cody Kelly, who's going to go around the outside here in the 75 machine.
Cody Kelly going to get a little bit loose off of turn 2, and he's going to slot down into that third position. Cars side by side. Take a look at Jackson Lewis. Where's he at? He's trying to move forward on the bottom. Back up front. Multiple cars side by side throughout this field. Now here comes Brett Suggs looking to the inside of Cody Kelly for third.
Well, Peyton Howell got a bump from Cody Kelly early on in that start, and that might have scared Peyton Howell just a bit. He's got Cody Kelly breathing all over him, and Kelly going to try to get to the inside here. Peyton might not want to defend at this point in the race. Again, we heard tire saving going to be very important. Cody Kelly going to go to second.
Cody Cody Kelly to P2. Blake Thronberg just a little bit farther back. He is stuck on the outside. Here comes Josh Parrish, another one of your playoff drivers in that 55 machine. A couple of the drivers, Peyton Howell, Josh Parrish, they do have the window banners on the windshield, so you can see those drivers, the bright yellow of the Elite Performance Industries yellow is what that is. But that is the bright yellow to indicate they are playoff drivers in this race. The other two drivers, well, they didn't do that.
Brendan Lee moving up spots as Blake Thronberg is stuck on the outside in the 22 machine. This is a battle for 7th on the racetrack. Actually make that 6 as Brendan Lee does clear Thronberg. Not quite. Actually, Thronberg going to come back as going to check up a little bit for Parrish. Thronberg on the outside line. And here comes Cole Cabrey in the 54. Cole off a win on Thursday night in SARA, the Open Setup Series.
I still can't call it that. I don't know why.
It's always been Sarah to me, and then I've heard other people say Sarah, so.
Yeah. I mean, it's Sim Auto Rick, so Sarah, I guess is what you should say, right? I don't know. I say Sarah.
Well, Josh Cottle is opening up his lead. It's now half a second over Cody Kelly. Peyton Howell runs 3rd. Josh Parrish taking a look underneath Brett Suggs. Suggs shut the door there for the 4th spot. Parrish going to hold on to 5th. Brandon Lee has moved up to 6th. Thronberg now losing a spot to Cole Cabrey. That's the 7th position. So the 54 moves forward. Now Dylan Bates there lined up on the inside, and Thronberg's got the train starting to form on the inside here.
Yeah, Thronberg just cannot find the bottom right now. Obviously, all these cars still packed up. Rick Rube getting off the bottom just a little bit behind them. Don't want to do that, but Dylan Bates going to go to the inside of Thronberg. That's a battle for the 8th spot. Bates will try to take that away on the bottom. Jeff, it's going to be interesting to see as this race plays out whether or not that outside line will start to catch up with the inside line. We've seen that before at Myrtle Beach. So far, it looks like the outside line is not the place to be.
Yeah, it's not working for Thronberg right now. He's now under fire from the 32 of Trevor Edwards, who's trying to move forward. Ahead of them, Cole Cabrey just got underneath Brandon Lee. Lee's going to get up the racetrack here. Now he's going to try to get down to defend. Bull not going to give away there on the inside, and Brandon Lee did not leave him a lot of room through 1 and 2 there.
Ooh, and Brandon Lee's going to get the wall off in turn 2 as he was trying to defend that position hard. You can see some damage on the outside of that number 10. Cole Cabrey, that new paint scheme in that 54 machine. He switched teams last week, so doesn't quite have the stickers on it looks like yet, Jeff, but he does have the ITZR contingencies, so thank you, Cole.
That's the most important part. Got to have those ITZR stickers if you want to make some money tonight. As Dylan Bates trying to go around Brendan Lee. Lee got the wall again down the back straightaway. The car has been struggling on the outside line. Here comes Trevor Edwards, who just got around Thronberg. Thronberg did get down in the line in front of Reagan Parent. Looks like Brendan Lee will do the same in front of Trevor Edwards.
Eric Tracy's making a move around Rick Rube. This is a battle for the 13th spot. Close racing off of turn number 2. Tracy does clear the 81 machine. Jeff, a lot of cars look like they are saving, but it is a high-speed chess match right now around the Myrtle Beach Speedway as they try to figure out where they want to be before we start running hard.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of pressure out of Jackson Lewis yet either. He's currently running 12th, and he does not seem to be in a hurry. We've seen this from Jackson. He just seems content to ride around and save tires to the end. As Trevor Edwards now underneath Brendan Lee. He's going to go for this spot. This is a battle for 8th on the racetrack.
Brendan Lee still just can't find the bottom. I mean, it's so hard to find the bottom when there's a choo-choo train down there. You just can't get an opening. And now Blake Thronberg going to look to the inside. He was the other car that was caught on the outside early in this race. Now he's found the bottom. He's making his way back forward as Lee still dragging that anchor.
Yeah, Thronberg started 6th and fell all the way back to the 11th position. Now he's going to take the 9th spot back. Here comes Reagan Parent, who's on the move. He's going to get underneath Brendan Lee. Behind him, Jackson Lewis, one of your championship contenders in the 7 machine. He's going to try to take advantage of this. Get a free spot here from Brendan Lee.
You can see the damage on the right front of that number 10 car as he bounced it off the outside wall twice off of turn 2. So he's having issues right now, and he'll find his way back in the line in front of the 81 of Rick Rube.
Eric Tracy got by as well, so that's back to the 13th position for Brendan Lee now. Josh Cottle.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff. I said, let's go check in with our leader, and you thought the same thing.
Yeah, Josh Cottle leads the way. Now, Cody Kelly has cut into that lead. It was over half a second at one point. Now it's down to about 0.3 of a second as Cody Kelly starting to reel in your race leader, Josh Cottle, out front. Big gap back to Peyton Howell, who seems content to ride in the 3rd spot. Behind him, Brett Suggs and Josh Parrish, your top 5. Dylan Bates might be starting to put the bumper to the 54. Cole Cavery. Now Cavery's going to use that as a sign he needs to start going because he's going to dive underneath Josh Parrish in the turn 3. Battle is on for the 5th spot.
Cole Cavery in the 54 going to try to make that move. Josh Parrish now up the racetrack. Not what Josh wants to see happen, as he wants to battle for that championship. Still early in this event. Only about 20 laps. Now we're about to work lap 20, and now Josh going to go way up the racetrack in the 55. Possible extreme tire saving mode, Jeff, as it looks like Josh doesn't look like he wants to battle this one out.
Yeah, maybe just caught between the strategies right now for Josh Parrish, where he doesn't want to go as fast as Josh
got
Cottle.
a gift. He got a gift from Blake Thronberg. That is a teammate move there, where Thronberg came off of 2 and just backed it down, made sure he was leaving the hole for him. So Josh Parrish able to slot back in line, only fell back to the 8th spot.
Well, and Reagan Parent says, hey, if you're going to do that, I'm going to go around you. So now Thronberg up the racetrack. Here comes Reagan Parent and Jackson Lewis.
Jackson Lewis just methodically making his way forward, being very patient in the 7 car, but moving forward as he started 15th. He's now up to the 10th position as he goes by Blake Thronberg. So we talked about it in the opener, Jeff. Well, I did, but nobody could hear you apparently. But we talked about Jackson Lewis just needed to be patient and try to make things happen as they went through. And now Cole Cavery's up the racetrack in the 54 as Dylan Bates is going to go around him for 5th.
Yeah, Dylan Bates looking for the 5th spot right now, bringing along Trevor Edwards in the 32. Cavery going to slot down in front of Josh Parrish, so he'll lose 2 spots. And I'm not sure, Bill, do you think these guys were expecting a long run to start this race, or do you think Josh Cottle might have been expecting a lot of yellows early on?
I think you probably would expect a pretty long run here at Myrtle Beach. It's a track that has a lot of width to it, a lot of places you can go to avoid the guys around you. And you can see the guys just moving right up the racetrack. And with the amount of saving that these guys are going to have to do for a while, price of poker is kind of in the toilet right now, Jeff. Nobody's really running hard. So as long as they stay like that, I think we're fine. Now Josh Parrish up off the bottom again in that 55 car and doesn't get the gift from Blake Thronberg, as Thronberg lost spots because of giving him a gift earlier. So now Josh Parrish in trouble in the 55, starts to slide back. Now he's back to 13th, and here comes Rick Rubin, the 81.
Yeah, Brendan Lee going to go by as well. So Lee gets that spot. Parrish does get down in front of Rick Rubin, the 81 machine, but move Josh Parrish back to the 13th spot. He is the last of our championship 4 drivers running on the racetrack.
Well, Cavery was just battling with Jackson Lewis on the racetrack. He was able to take the spot from him. Cavery moved up to 8th. Jackson Lewis back to 9th, had moved past Cavery, but was able to make the move, cross him over, and get back by him. So we'll see when these guys start to go, Jeff. We don't know when that's actually going to happen. We didn't really talk to anybody about when they decided they were going to go.
Cole Cavery just moved down the racetrack and let the 7 of Jackson Lewis go around the top side. Jackson's going to take over the 8th spot. Here comes Eric Tracy. He jumped out there as well, and then Cole picked up the pace, and he's not going to let the 66 go by, just the 7.
It looked like Eric Tracy might have got a little bit of wall as well. I think Cole just gave, well, Jeff, if you read the side of the car on the 7 machine, it says the shop, and that's the team that Cole Cavery's now on. So he just let his teammate go, and now Eric Tracy tried to take evasive maneuvers to get around the 54 cars. Cole Cavery running a little bit of blocker for that 7 machine. Maybe that's why Cole Cavery's in this race tonight.
Well, another swap of positions a little bit further up front as Dylan Bates just went around Brett Suggs. Suggs moved out of the way, let the 91 go when he caught him, and he's just going to ride in line back into the 5th position now.
Corey Bigley just went around Josh Parrish. Here comes Parker Traves in the 60. He went around Josh Parrish as well. Josh Parrish, Jeff, has fallen all the way back to 16th spot in that 55 car. There are a bunch of hungry drivers right on his back bumper. It never ends here in the Late Model Shootout Series. If you lose the top 10, you find that there's a really good group of guys sitting right outside in the top 15 that are wanting to go forward as well.
Yeah, I'm looking further back in the field. Jonathan Sanford just got passed by Bladen Edwards. That's a battle for 23rd. That's one of the guys that'll be racing for a championship tomorrow night in the County Road Custom Late Model Challenger Series. Bladen Edwards running 23rd on the racetrack.
And right in front of him, there's Ricky Howe. He's also in that Final Four, and he's running in that 22nd spot. So that's how good the Late Model Shootout Series is right now. As you can see, there's some drivers that are doing pretty well, but the guys that are running in the top 4 in the Late Model Challenger Series, even though they've had fantastic seasons, not doing so well tonight at Myrtle.
Well, Bill, early tire saving strategy going on. I'm watching the 5 of Casey Kelly, who is about 14 seconds behind the field, running in the 28th spot where he started. No hurry for Casey Kelly. He is just saving tires right now.
Corey Bigley, Rick Rubin, Parker, Traves battling on the racetrack. Traves trying to make it a 2 for us. He went underneath Corey Bigley, who had just gone underneath Rick Rue. Not able to make the pass as Bigley will fend him off. That's a battle for 13.
Cody Kelly starting to reel in your leader. He dropped about 0.7 of a second behind Josh Cottle, then all of a sudden has turned up the heat and has completely reeled him in. It's now just a car length between your top two drivers as they have broken away about 1.8 seconds ahead of Peyton Howell.
We've talked to Josh Cottle multiple times this season on account that he's made the podium quite a few times. And one of the things he did tell us is charging the corners in this car really helps with the balance, at least for his driving style. And tonight, Jeff, he is flying around this racetrack in comparison to the other drivers. Start to worry about tires, but he seems to be one of the best that is able to manage this car.
Yeah, I don't know how many times this season I've doubted whether Cottle can make it on tires when he leads so much of the race. And time again, he proves me wrong, and he just has a knack for getting out front and being able to manage the pace and tires at the same time. And he's doing that right now with Cody Kelly right on his tail.
I will say this, though. If there's a car you don't want to see right on your tail, it's probably, one that's the level of Cody Kelly. The ability of that driver, it's just like, oh, if the 75's with me, that's not good.
Yeah, that was the reaction I heard. The second that Cody Kelly was signed in, everybody saw that number pop up and was like, really? What is he doing here tonight?
Battle for third, Jeff. Dylan Bates just went around Peyton Howell. Howell drops back to fourth. I think Peyton's doing some saving right now, as he's got some really savvy race car drivers right behind him with Brett Suggs, Trevor Edwards, and Reagan Parent right there. And I think those guys are just kind of hanging out, but Dylan Bates decided he wants to go a little bit faster, so he's going to go by those drivers, jump into the third spot, and see if he can run down your lead duo.
Well, Peyton's about to have some company as well from Brett Suggs and Trevor Edwards. They're bringing along Reagan Parent and the 17 machine as well, so they are starting to stack up behind the 52.
Again, we didn't really talk strategy with anybody. We don't know when these guys are going to try to start moving. No idea what the setup's going to do over the long run. I don't know if they know either. How many guys actually did a long run in practice? Don't know. They only get the setup an hour before the race starts.
Well, Elliott Carlson just went a lap down. He's currently running 29th on the racetrack, just lost a lap to Josh Cottle and Cody Kelly. So already starting to get in the lap traffic, just the first car. Now they got a little bit of time before they would hit Casey Kelly, who's about 5 seconds up the road.
It is clear. We've seen Elliott and the pace that Elliott can have in the 09, but he is absolutely in full tire save mode. Of course, the lucky dog is something in this series, so even being a lap down, as long as he gets a yellow before those two lead drivers pass another lapped car, he'll get his lap back, start at the back of the field with really fresh virtual Hoosiers on that car.
Well, Cody Kelly's really putting the pressure to Josh Cottle now. The battle for the lead is starting to heat up here on lap 43. Cottle has led every bit of the way, but here comes Cody Kelly, and Cottle's not going to bother. You can see him lift out of the throttle, the flame out the side, and that was him saying, you know what, go ahead and take it. Cody Kelly, your new leader, lap 44.
Jeff, I'm going to speak not from experience, but I'm just guessing, and I believe Cody Kelly probably has some real-life experience at this racetrack that no longer exists. Cody Kelly spends his Saturday nights running at Florence Motor Speedway, which was basically the replacement for Myrtle Beach when they replaced it. So I wonder if Cody Kelly using some of that knowledge to take the lead in this race, and we'll see if he can run and hide.
Cody Kelly out front now, putting gaps on Josh Cottle here. It's about 0.3 of a second. They cross the line. Dylan Bates runs third. Peyton Howell starting to pull away from Brett Suggs just a little bit as well. So Baby Shark starting to pick up the pace here on lap 46 of this one.
Reagan Parent just made a move on Trevor Edwards, took the 6th spot away from Trevor. Just behind them, Jackson Lewis is starting to close into the 7 car. He's running around here in 8th.
I think Eric Tracy might have just got a bump from Brendan Lee through turns 3 and 4 as Brendan is trying to get around Eric for the 10th position. Tracy was able to hold on in the 66 machine. Brendan Lee in that 15, trying to find a way past. He's got Blake Throneberg behind him.
I watch these cars go through turns 1 and 2, Jeff, and those turtles make me nervous every single time on the bottom of that corner. Some of these guys get so close to them, but do just a fantastic job not to run them over.
Trouble for Tracy. He tried to get underneath Cole Cabrey, and I think he might have locked up the front brakes. That thing slid up the racetrack and opened the door for Brendan Lee, who's going to try to take away this 10th position now. This has been a long green flag run, 49 laps into this one. Josh Cottle runs second behind Cody Kelly. Cody did put about 0.3 on him, and then Josh Cottle came back. So Cottle is now right with the 75 machine. Cody Kelly not able to run away right now from your second place runner. Dylan Bates is actually gaining on these two. He's just 1.5 seconds behind. Now make that 1.4 when they cross the line. Eric Tracy was able to get down in front of Blake Thronberg, so he will hold on to the 11th position. Thronberg runs 12th. Corey Bigley 13th with the 60 of Parker Traves in the 14th spot behind him. Rick Rube is settled into the 15th spot. Josh Parrish, one of your championship contenders, is back to the 16th position now.
Trevor Edwards just took a spot back from Reagan Parent. That's a battle for your 6th spot. These guys have swapped that spot twice now in the last 5 laps. Reagan Parent has some good damage in the left front of that number 17 car. Not sure where he got that, but you can see that fender's crumbled in just a little bit.
Parrish making a move around Rick Rube. This is a battle for 15th on the racetrack. Parrish trying to work his way forward. Remember, he started in the 5th spot. He has sunk all the way back to 16th, trying to get around Rick Rube. And that'll give him the 15th position.
A little strategy call here, Jeff. We're trying to watch this happen, but the 09 Elliott Carlson has basically been lapped by just about every car in the field. But it doesn't matter unless the leaders pass another car.
Yeah, he's just hoping for a caution at this point as he just kind of rides around saving tires. Now, if he gets 2 laps down, that could be problems for Elliott Carlson, but
again,
right now
unless the leaders pass another car.
Yeah, but the next car up is Casey Kelly, and I don't think Casey's going to let the leaders go around him. So they've got some time here to maybe get a yellow and save the day for Elliott Carlson.
And Casey Kelly doing some ride. Devin Rogers there in the 96 as well. But the leaders aren't even really in the screen with Casey Kelly. So Elliott Carlson, this will be fun to watch. Just something else that'll give us something else to watch, Jeff, is Elliott Carlson trying this extreme tire saving technique. See how that plays out as the race unfolds.
Thronberg diving underneath the 66 of Eric Tracy. Tracy going to let him have the inside. Thronberg going to move up a spot. That's for the 11th position. Behind them, Parker Traves has gotten around Corey Bigley, and he is now up to 13th and starting to set his sights on Eric Tracy.
Up front, Jeff, it has gotten a little bit closer between your top 3. Josh Cottle is still sitting about 0.4 back of your leader, and now Dylan Bates. Dylan Bates has put the whip to it, and he is starting to catch your leaders. Interesting strategy from the 91 machine as he has gone, basically picked up his pace early compared to your 2 leaders.
Yeah, and he has caught Josh Cottle, and doesn't look like Cottle wants any part of that battle with the 91, so he's going to let Dylan Bates go into the 2nd spot, and he's going to go back into just cruising here in 3rd.
And we are getting very, very close to halfway as we are working lap 61. So just a couple laps away from halfway, and we've been clean and green this entire race, Jeff. And I think some of the leaders, including Josh Cottle, probably thought we would get a yellow.
Yeah,
and he's decided to back her down, thinking, I better save some tire. These guys aren't running into each other.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. I think Josh Cottle got out front, was expecting a few yellows that would control the pace, and all of a sudden, this thing's gone nearly halfway, green flag, and they've got to be thinking, did I burn up too much too early? Now, if you're Cody Kelly, you're just here to win. I mean, it doesn't matter what happens. If you end up burning up the tires and you have nothing left at the end, no harm, no foul, right? But if you're Josh Cottle, you need to be able to defend against those other playoff drivers. Blake Thronberg and Brendan Lee having a fun battle back here in the 10th position now. Brendan Lee going to have the 22 dive underneath him into turn 3. Almost a little contact off 4. Brendan had to move up the racetrack. I think Thronberg brought that car back down to the inside as well. So nearly a moment there as Thronberg going to finally clear Brendan Lee for the 10th spot.
Here comes Eric Tracy in the 66 Hillock. Looked to make that move as well. The move wasn't really there. Brendan kind of gave him room and then didn't give him room. And boy, that was close.
And that little stack up costs Eric Tracy because here comes the 60 of Parker Traves. He dives to the inside now.
Parker Traves looking to benefit from that little dust up between Lee and Tracy. Tracy did the smart thing though, Jeff. Didn't really stick it in there, backed off, ran cautiously, lived to fight another day.
Yeah, Eric Tracy going to lose a spot though to Parker Traves. And as he battled with Traves here on the outside, that's going to allow Corey Bigley as well to get there in the 28 machine. So pair of SPM cars, a trio of SPM cars here battling with each other, and they're having a pretty fun race around the 13th spot here.
Eric Tracy might have caught a little bit of the wall down the back straightaway, and he's going to be sideways off of 4, and Bigley able to not make contact with the 66, and the 66 crossed over into his lane. They'll settle that out by going single file through 1 and 2. Here comes Josh Parrish again in the 55. He needs to start making his way forward as he wants to battle for this championship.
Yeah, this little battle here might be making Josh Parrish a little nervous because Eric Tracy looks real sideways. He almost gets up into the wall again. Corey Bigley's trying to get down to the bottom as Parrish goes for the bottom as well. So Josh is having some struggles here behind this group.
I don't know, Jeff. I start to wonder when crew chief, spotters, friends, as Bigley almost got into the back of Eric Tracy going down into turn number 3. But when do these guys start to turn it up? I start to wonder when you start to hear the engines just sing a little bit different tone. You can usually tell when these guys are starting to go harder.
Well, Bill, Josh Cottle just went back around Dylan Bates. So I think Cottle all of a sudden has decided, you know what, I'd rather be second now. And he has turned up the wick just a little bit as Cody Kelly started to pull away from Bates. It was back to about 0.7 of a second. And Cottle decided, you know what, I don't want that 75 to get away here.
Well, Josh Cottle's biggest concern doesn't need to be that 75 right now. It needs to be that 52. These two guys racing for the championship. Don't go for the win and burn the car up. When Peyton Howe has been really smart this entire time and just kind of riding back there in that 4th spot.
And Jackson Lewis just went around Reagan Parent, so Jackson's up into the 7th position. Remember, he started 15th tonight, so a contender for the Adobe Mountain Speedway Hard Charger Award, $5 on the line. The driver gains the most spots tonight. Parker Traves is up from 21st to 12th.
I don't think Jackson Lewis is worried about that $5, Jeff. He's worried
$5.
about the big $300 check at the end of the season for the champion.
Yeah, the $5 is kind of meaningless when it comes to that, isn't it? Is looking at the scoring as well. Ricky Howe started 30th. He is up to 19th as well. So a couple of contenders there for the Hard Charger Award. It looks like Josh Cottle is inched into that lead just slightly. It's down to about 0.6 of a second to Cody Kelly out front.
Parker Traves just got by Brendan Lee. That was for the 11th spot. So move Parker Traves up another position as he looks for the Adobe Mountain Speedway Hard Charger Award.
Sean Hayes going around Bladen Edwards. Hayes going to move up into the 20th position. Edwards back to 21st.
Starting to see a lot of that rubber on the high side, Jeff. Not that I think that really makes a difference to these cars. They don't really lose traction, but man, oh man, is it dirty up the racetrack.
We are past halfway now, 76 laps into this one, and this is a tough racetrack to go green flag this long. This is a very difficult track to be consistent at because it's flat. It's got those, as you mentioned, those turtles on the inside that you can hit. If you just miss it by inches, I mean, you can really upset the car with those turtles and bounce the car off of them, maybe spin out. And this is a long racetrack to have to put that much, intensity and focus into.
I don't know if I would want to spend that much time running this racetrack. I think you and I have done it recently, not that recently, probably about 2-3 years ago in the SK Modified, and I think we ran about 70 laps, and I was worn out on this thing. It doesn't look tough, but it is a difficult racetrack to drive.
Well, your running order right now, Cody Kelly, Josh Cottle, Dylan Bates, Peyton Howell, and Brett Suggs, your top 5. Trevor Edwards runs 6th, Jackson Lewis 7th, Reagan Parent 8th. Now Cole Camery going to try to take away that 8th spot from Reagan Parent. As Blake Throberg, who's in 10th, is going to get there to the inside of Reagan Parent. So Parent now under fire because they're going to start lining up on the bottom of him. That's the 60 of Parker Traves, who's next in line.
Of course, Reagan Parent running for a championship tomorrow night, just uses Monday nights as a test session. And of course, you'll see Reagan Parent full-time next season on Monday nights because he won't be allowed to run on Tuesdays after being in the Final Four.
Well, Reagan just shut the door on Brendan Lee. He was done losing spots, and he came down behind Parker Traves and ran the 15 all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack, and now he's slotted into the 11th position.
Kudos to Brendan Lee for finding the brake pedal there. Didn't get it in the back of the 17 car, turn him around, because like you said, he really shut the door on him going down into turn number 3.
Yeah, there's not a lot of drivers that would have lifted for Reagan Parent in that situation. We used to have a saying that went around in this league, and it was, you block, you pay, and sometimes that would be been one of those blocks that would have got you sent off into the corner.
Don't say it out loud, Jeff.
Bladen Edwards heading down pit road. He might not be liking the setup or this car right now, and Bladen might be parking it, and that's not a good sign for Bladen, who's going to race for a championship tomorrow night. His Monday night test session did not go well.
Well, he did run 82 green flag laps. I mean, that tells you all you need to know, right?
Yeah, we have lost Donald Clark as well. Donald making his return to the series is out of the race. Going to finish 29th tonight. Looks like Bladen Edwards going to finish 28th. 26 car still on the lead lap with Steven Rogers, the last car on the lead lap.
Reagan Parent, Brendan Lee still haven't settled this. Is now Reagan's going to close the door on Eric Tracy. Reagan Parent has gotten really good at closing the door. He's going to get a shot from Eric Tracy through 3 and 4. That might be our first yellow. Eric Tracy just got in the back bumper of the 17 car. Clearly wasn't happy with the 17 shutting the door, and we do get a yellow from that. That was pretty obvious what happened there, is Reagan really shut the door on him going down into turn number 3, and Eric just said, you know what, I didn't like that bumper.
First caution lap 84 of this one. Maybe a relief for some of those guys that have been running up front. And taking a look again, Eric Tracy coming down the back straightaway. Reagan shuts the door, he's there, and it's like almost in the center of the corner, just that car started to slide up. It's that low entry.
I mean, we have a saying around here. It's pretty
Yeah, it is a C car don't hit car situation, but I think Reagan just maybe just lost some speed in the center of the corner, and the 66 didn't react to it. It was a slight bump. Reagan just not able to hold on to that one.
We're going to give you the Stinger Motorsports chopper cam here. As you can see, Reagan gets up the that's a C car don't hit car, Jeff. That's exactly what that means. We're going to watch it from Eric Tracy's camera angle, his cockpit view, just so we can see exactly what Eric saw as he went in the corner. There's Reagan shutting the door on him, getting into the middle here. And I think he just meant to tell him, I don't like you shut the door on me, and turned him around.
Yeah, it got into the back of him. It was a slight bump, and it just happened at the wrong time there, and maybe the 17 was already a little loose. Looks like Elliott Carlson going to get a lucky dog here, so the 09 will be back on the lead lap.
And there it is. He doesn't have much time though, Jeff. Unfortunately for Elliott, to get that first yellow very. It didn't happen until very late in this race.
Also, Bill, while we were watching that battle between those that caused the caution, Peyton Howell had just gone around Dylan Bates. He was just ahead of the 91 by a fender when that caution waved, so Peyton Howell will restart third here on this restart.
Bullet holes on the side of that Peyton Howell machine. You know, yeah, I'm the one that caused that paint scheme, Jeff. I feel great about it.
I like it.
He called Baby Shark.
Yeah, I mean, he's ready for war tonight, and that's what the 52 is set up, the war paint.
That's right. Bladen was going to paint that for him, and he said, why that? And I said, well, he's got to go to war this week.
Well, here we go. Your first caution of the night, a lap 84, running order. Cody Kelly, Josh Cottle, Peyton Howell, Dylan Bates, Brett Suggs, Trevor Edwards, Jackson Lewis, Cole Cabrey, Blake Throberg, and Parker Traves, your top 10. Josh Parrish, one of your playoff drivers, has moved his way up to 12th now. And this caution might be what he needs to get back in the mix here, because the rest of the playoff guys have left him behind. And now that caution, it's going to even everything up.
Well, you know what happens when this happens, Jeff. The price of poker just went through the roof.
Yeah, all those guys that save tires, they need to go now. Time is running out as we're going to go back to green on lap 90.
Everybody cover your eyes because this one is about to get exciting. Cody Kelly going to take us back to the green flag as the pace truck is off. Josh Cottle starting on the outside, not where he wants to be. Needs a good restart here as Peyton Howell's going to try to get underneath him, go down into turn number 1.
Cottle behind the 52 going into turn 1. Can Peyton Howell take away second place and possibly the lead of the playoff drivers down the back straightaway? They are door to door. Howell sideways into 3.
Howell got on the brakes hard going down into turn 3, got that car all kinds of squirrely, was able to save it, not get into him.
This is a race for your championship right here as Cody Kelly is walking away with the lead. They are battling hard for second behind him. Battle for the championship. Lap 92 of this one.
Peyton Howell and Josh Cottle, mano a mano right now, side by side for the championship lead. Still over 30 laps remaining in this race, so they don't want to go too hard, but you know these guys want to be the leader of those championship cars.
While they battle, Cody Kelly continues to open up the lead. It's half a second now as the 52 of Peyton Howell just can't quite pull ahead of Josh Cottle. Cottle will be second that time by. Peyton able to fight back through turns 1 and 2. He pulls ahead just slightly down the back straightaway.
Look at the momentum from Cottle down the back straightaway as he's able to pull
Caution.
a fender. We go yellow, and I think Cottle might retain that second spot. He will.
I think we might have had an issue with Zach Onen, who was running in the 20th position. And that'll trigger a yellow lap 94.
Oh, Turtles. The Turtles got the 31 through turn number 2. That's that turn those Turtles that I talked about, Jeff. They make me nervous. It's because I'm very low in skill. He got on those Turtles. There it is. The car jumps in the air, unloads, gets sideways. Didn't hit anything else. Hopefully didn't do any damage to the suspension on the left side of that car. Those Turtles are mean. We'll actually see if we can get a nice zoomed in shot of Zach Onen here. This might be a neat shot here as he gets up on those Turtles. You can see that car buck.
Yeah, those Turtles are unforgiving. I mean, it absolutely sent the 31 up in the air. You can see it upset the car. Round he goes. Luckily, just a single car incident, and that's going to give us a quickie caution here as Jonathan Sanford picks up the lucky dog, and we're going to get right back to green flag racing because we're going to double them up this time.
Jonathan Sanford in that 2-1-2 picks up that lucky dog. He's running 25th.
Pace car
I love quickie cautions, Jeff. I love them.
Yeah, here we go. Back to racing. Head to the Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing Restart Zone for Cody Kelly, Josh Cottle, Peyton Howell, 3rd, Brett Suggs, 4th, Dylan Bates, 5th, Cole Carery in the 6th spot. We are off and racing. Green flag is back out in the Islander in 125. Cottle going to get down in front of Peyton Howell this time.
Wow, Peyton Howell. Oh, Peyton Howell's going to get into the bumper. That's a big move right there as he got the Turtles getting into turn number 1. It didn't have any issues there, Jeff. That's crazy. He jumped over the Turtles getting into turn number 1, still got in the back end of Cottle, moved him up the racetrack, and we're going to battle for second again.
And it is going to stack up everybody behind him because Cole Carery is now underneath Brett Suggs. They are side by side for the 4th spot as Cottle inches ahead. More contact down the back straightaway. Peyton Howell sideways. Now can Cottle move down in front of Peyton Howell? He does.
Peyton Howell, dude. Oh, we got a caution, Jeff. Cars wrecking there into turn number 3. Big messes. We have lots of cars. Trevor Edwards, Peter Fisher, Rick Rue, Kieran Church, Donald Clark's involved, Aaron Avendroff. Holy cow, Kyle Meyer. That was the big one here, Jeff. Something went big wrong going down into turn number 3.
Yeah, and this group was just double file all the way back through the field because those leaders just could not get clear. And it was Trevor Edwards that got hit going into turn 3. That was Parker Traves that got into the back of him. Parker hit him pretty darn hard, and that just stacked up everybody.
Take a look at that on the replay. Man, that took out a lot of cars. I don't know if Parker got into him coming off at turn 2, but Trevor was all, wow, Parker just jacked him up. Trying to figure out what happened going into turn number 1. Any ideas here, Jeff, if we watch the replay?
Yeah, just Parker I don't know if he wasn't expecting the slowdown that was happening. I mean, they're so double filed. I mean, you'd have to expect they're not going to enter full speed. And he just got into the back of the 32. Really just C-car, don't hit car situation there.
Sean Hayes, Eric Tracy involved. That was big junk entering turn 3. So we get a...
Kyle Meyer was involved as well. Let's see, Thronberg might have got a piece of that. I mean, everybody about 10th on back got something in that, right?
Zach Onen was able to miss it. Aaron Abendroth actually came to a complete stop, didn't get involved.
I think that was Devin Rogers as well in the 96 that went through.
I don't think Elliot Carlson got involved either. He stopped as well. So some guys really smart driving there as the track was pretty much completely blocked.
Looks like that's going to be
Parker Traves.
Looks like it might be the end of the night for Reagan Parent as well. He is sitting on pit road now, 9 laps down. Elliot Carlson back on the racetrack, 7 laps down.
I think Reagan's just bowing out, Jeff. I think he's run his test session. Car doesn't look all that beat up.
Well, Bill, might be a break here for Josh Cottle because we are going to go single file restart. They did not complete 5 laps. That was about 2 laps after the restart there. So it'll be a single file restart this time for Cody Kelly, Josh Cottle, Peyton Howell, Brett Suggs, Cole Carey, Jackson Lewis, Dylan Bates, Josh Parrish now up into the 8th spot. Blake Thronberg 9th, and Brendan Lee going to restart 10th.
We just heard from Reagan Parent, Jeff, blown right rear on the 77 car. No tire changes here in the late model shootout series. So Reagan Parent is done because he cooked the right rear on that 17 machine.
Well, lesson learned there for Reagan Parent about what to expect for tomorrow night's County Road Custom Late Model Challenger Series as we hit the BSRM restart zone. Cody Kelly leads the way. Josh Cottle in the 2nd spot. We are off and racing.
Single file restart. You can see Josh Cottle trying to defend Peyton Howell. They're going to come off of turn number 2. Cody Kelly doing a fantastic job out front. Gets a nice 2-car length gap on Josh Cottle. Here comes Peyton Howell to the back bumper of the 13 car.
Peyton got way up near the wall down the back straightaway that time. Got a nice run. Gets to the back bumper of the 13, but not going to step out of line just yet. Lap 106 here as we went back to green flag racing.
Here comes Jackson Lewis just in the 7. He is up to the 6th position. Another one of your playoff drivers trying to get into this playoff battle. And Josh Parrish not far behind as he's running 8th. And it looks like Dylan Bates is going to let the 55 go. Boy, is that a nice maneuver from a rival driver. So he's going to let him run to the front.
Yeah, Josh Parrish starting to make his way back into the mix. Remember, he fell all the way back to 16th at one point in this race, saving tires, and now he is on the hunt. Cody Kelly leads the way ahead of Josh Cottle, Peyton Howell, Brett Suggs, and Cole Carey, your top 5. Cody Kelly's been able to open up that lead about 0.3 of a second. Now Josh Cottle starting to feel the pressure from Peyton Howell in the 52 behind him.
Cody Kelly doing a fantastic job. He's been fast all night, Jeff. Still has the field car. Peyton Howell really sideways off of 2.
He got in the back of Cottle. That got that car really upset. Brett Suggs tried to take advantage. Cole Carey jumps to the outside of Suggs as he lifts for the 52. Now Carey's going to run the outside here.
I think these guys know exactly who they're racing with too, Jeff. They know that that is a championship battle right in front of them. I believe Suggs probably just backed out of that. And now Cole Carey's going to try to battle for that position. But I don't think they want to get in the middle of this championship battle as they're going to make contact off of turn 4. Cole Carey trying to make the move on Suggs.
Yeah, that 54 has come to life just like he did last Thursday night when we did the Sarah race. He is starting to make his way forward late in the challenge, and Cole Carey's got some speed. He's taking it to Brett Suggs here for the 4th spot.
Just under 14 laps remaining, or we're going to get 14 laps remaining in this race. And it is getting really, really anxious right now, Jeff, as all these guys trying to make their way forward. Jackson Lewis, Josh Parrish not able to do so far.
Well, Parrish is making a run down on Jackson Lewis here, coming to the back straightaway. He's going to dive it in there on turn 3. Jackson shuts the door.
Oh, they're going to almost make contact. Almost contact off of Ford. Parrish trying to make the move. Jackson Lewis doesn't seem like he has much left in the 7 machine. Not the kind of racetrack he seems to enjoy, as Jackson been struggling all night long. And Parrish trying to make the move now in the 55 into 3.
Parrish is there. He's alongside the 7 of Jackson Lewis, but he's got to move quickly. Brett Suggs gets contact from Cole Camery just ahead of him. Suggs holds onto it. Barely lost any time as he was almost sideways down the front straightaway. Parrish able to clear Jackson Lewis off turn 2, possibly? No, Jackson's going to hang there on the right rear quarter panel. Keep the 55. Now he gets clear.
And man, oh man, there you see Josh Parrish just through
Bill, here
that
comes
car.
Casey Kelly.
Casey Kelly's been saving tires all night long in the 5, and Jackson Lewis going to cross him over down the front straightaway. They're going to be side by side through 1 and 2. Jackson Lewis not done yet. Josh Parrish didn't want to see that 5 show up, as now they're going to be side by side and almost 3 wide down the back straightaway.
Jackson Lewis going to move down to defend from the 5, but that 5 is absolutely flying right now. He might have got into the 7 of Jackson Lewis. That's going to allow Josh Parrish to power by on the outside line. Now Peyton Howell's having trouble. He's up the racetrack, just lost 2 spots to Brett Suggs and Cole Camery.
Peyton Howell now having problems. He's been driving the wheels off that 52 for quite a few laps now. Josh Cottle is sailing away with this championship lead, and Peyton Howell now has 2 cars in between him and a shot at that title, and they're banging off of each other. Josh Parrish, Jackson Lewis, they are wrecking into turn 1. Parrish is in the wall. The caution isn't for them, but Parrish just took a bunch of damage from that.
Ricky Howe was involved in that one. He was running 23rd, goes around in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Actually, he was running in the 11th position. He was having a heck of a run tonight. Got turned around. Looks like some contact from the 10 of Brendan Lee.
There was a lot of contact from those guys. They were beating and banging. A lot of cars beating and banging. This race just about over.
And I think Ricky Howell might have got some contact from Brendan Lee, but he might have got some contact from the 22 of Kieran and Church.
I think Ricky Howell might have a blown right rear there, Jeff.
Yeah.
You watch him coming off a turn 2 that lap, and he is dirt track sideways.
Whew, man.
And he might be struggling really bad. We're going to go even farther back to see how bad this car's. I mean, it is really sideways. Yeah, he doesn't even hit the bottom going into 1. I think Ricky Howell had gotten the right rear had gone on that 20. Yeah, he was losing it before Brendan got him. I think that right rear's toast.
Yeah, we're kind of thinking maybe a little netcode. The 20 said he did not blow a right rear tire. Now, the driver that came over the radio, Josh Parrish, said he might have blown a right rear tire, which is a little unnerving because he's going to restart in the, 7th position?
I mean, there might be contact. It is really tight between Brendan Lee and Ricky Howell. Really hard to see. We watched it from the Stinger Motorsports chopper cam. I just feel like he's loose before Lee gets him.
Yeah, I don't know if there was any actual contact there. If anything, it might have been a little netcode between the two, but definitely not any contact that I could see. So nobody going to go to the rear of the field for that one. Just kind of a racing deal.
So you can see your standings on the left-hand side of the screen. That is going to set your field, set your lineup, and you can see right now, Josh Cottle, 2nd place, leader in the championship run. 5th, Peyton Howell. He is the 2nd car running for the championship, but he is currently running 5th. Jackson Lewis 7th and Jackson Lewis 6th and Josh Parrish 7th. Those are your championship contenders, and they are not going to have much time. This is about to get absolutely crazy here at the end of this race.
Yeah, and that last run, Casey Kelly, he has come from 28th to 8th challenger for the Adobe Mountain Speedway Hard Charger Award. Casey has got a lot of tire left, and he might be, if he can get clear of this group here battling for a championship, he might have something to say here with his brother for the win here.
Not going to have very many laps to do it, Jeff. We are working lap 122. It'll be lap 123 when we take the green flag, so 3 laps remaining in this race. And of course, we will have 3 possible overtime sessions if there are any issues before we finish.
Yeah, this will be a natural green-white checkered here for Cody Kelly, Josh Cottle, and the BSRM restart zone. Here we go. Green flag racing the Islander in 125. Cody Kelly is off and away. Josh Cottle trying to hold on to the second spot. He's got some pressure from Brett Suggs coming here into turn one.
Brett Suggs on the bottom. There's Peyton Howell on the bottom as well. Josh Parrish going to walk his race car up the racetrack. He's having issues in the 55. Issues behind him as well.
Now Brett Suggs challenging Josh Cottle. Peyton Howell has found himself to the inside line. He is right there if the 33 is able to clear Josh Cottle.
Josh Cottle's been doing a great job on the high side. They just took 2 to go. Cody Kelly gone right now in the 75 machine. Casey Kelly still trying to make moves, but the battle is for second, and that is going to be the one that settles your title. Is Peyton Howell still having issues, can't get to the back of Josh Cottle. Take the white flag.
White flag is out for Cody Kelly. Brett Suggs trying to take second. Josh Cottle, he's just holding on right now for the second spot. He would win the championship if he finishes here. Cody Kelly is out and away, gone. He's going to see the checkered flag. He's going to win the Islander in 125. Casey Kelly spinning behind him. Josh Cottle is going to win the title.
Wow. Josh Cottle held those tires all race long.
Your Elite Performance Industries Late Model Shootout Series champion. Brett Suggs comes home third. Cole Cabry fourth. Peyton Howell going to finish second in the standings with a 5th place finish tonight. Jackson Lewis going to finish third in the standings with a 6th. Casey Kelly going to come home 7th. Blake Throneberg 8th. Aaron Abendroth 9th. Dylan Bates with a top 10 tonight.
I love the sportsmanship shown from the 52 driver. Baby Shark went up and gave Cottle a bump, said, "Congratulations, bud. Well earned, man. That was a fantastic race." Josh Cottle, all kinds of speed all night long, Jeff. We talked about, we were worried about his tires, and in the end, it looked like he had the best tires of the title contenders.
Yeah, that was unreal. What a battle there at the end. Peyton Howell gave it everything he had. Just if Brett Suggs could have got around Josh Cottle, maybe he has a chance, but Cottle was able to fight back on the outside, held on to second.
Yeah, unbelievable drive from those leaders. I'm shocked what Cody Kelly was able to do tonight in the 75 car. The amount of speed he had all night long and still was able to just drive away from those guys at the end.
Yeah, Cody was hooked up tonight, absolutely flying. But we're going to kind of go out of order tonight because we just got our champion here in the broadcast booth. So Josh Cottle, our Elite Performance Industries Late Model Shootout Series champion. It's a 2nd place finish, but it was enough to win it. What was going through your mind there in the last closing stages of that race? You were holding on for second with Brett Suggs, but you had to know that Peyton Howell was just behind him.
It was stressful, man. Right there at that last restart, I thought I could get clear of Brett, and I couldn't. I was like, oh no, I just got to hold on for dear life and hope I can stick it out, because I mean the top was actually pretty good there at the end, and that definitely helped me, and it was just really stressful with the yellows there at the end.
Josh, you sound like, I mean, are you exhausted? You just won the championship, man, in the late model shootout series here at ITZR. How, I mean, way above your expectations, talking to you all season long. This is not what you thought would happen. How does it feel now that you know you're the champ?
It feels great, man, but I need to let my heart rate calm down before I can celebrate a little bit, because that was very stressful. I mean, if you were in the race car, dude, holy moly.
Well, Josh, early on, you took off, and we were talking about it on the broadcast. Did you expect that race to go over halfway, nearly 3/4 of the way in before the first caution? And if not, what were you thinking about halfway? Were you thinking maybe you used up too much?
No, so when Cody got near me, I let him go because I didn't want to go his pace, but also I wanted to kind of try to hang on for as long as possible because, I mean, dude, my whole strategy for tonight was just to stay in the lead and honestly hang on and try to have control of the race, because if I control, I feel more comfortable with it, you know? But when he got around me, I was like, oh no, I gotta change up strategy, so I just ran as hard as I possibly could.
So Josh, talk about it, man. You had Peyton Howell to the inside. Did you think at that point, you talked about how stressful it was in the race car. Did you think, oh man, I might be sunk here, he's got the preferred line?
I knew I could hold him off on top, especially in 3 and 4. 1 and 2, he could get me, but I was afraid, honestly, of my tires because I got a warning and it felt really tight. I was like, oh no, I better not be blowing a right front. There was one time he got into me, and it was because I was plowing. But honestly, right after that last yell, I didn't feel as bad, so I don't know what I did different.
Well, Josh, it's been an amazing season. 3 wins. You come home with the title. I know it takes a lot of people to make this all happen. And when you guys are bouncing around from open setup to fixed setup, who do you want to thank that's helped you get here?
Well, first of all, man, I want to thank y'all for, of course, for doing this league, man. I mean, I could finally relax on Monday nights, and that was stressful, especially going throughout the season. Last season, it was my first ever season with y'all, and I made it to the top, I think 8, and then I just missed it at Martinsville. So to have redemption, it feels really good. Um, Even though I don't sound like it, it's just because I'm stressed out, and once I get the nerves calmed down, we're going partying.
Well, Josh,
But yeah,
I'm super happy for you, man. I just want to tell you that. I mean, I remember your first Sarah win, and you couldn't believe it, and here you are. I mean, ITZR, we know what kind of league we put together. You know the guys, the caliber of guys that race in this league, and here you are, a champion, man. I couldn't be happier for you. You deserve it, man. Great season.
thank you, sir. Of course, as well, I also want to thank everybody that made it in the championship for all the EPI guys, man. Before the race, we talked and just said, go gloves out, man. No team racing, like nothing. Just get in your own. I deafened during that entire race just to focus on myself. Um, but man, it was stressful. But I knew those guys were gonna at least race me clean, and that was a hell of a battle with Peyton there. I know we raced hard, but he still raced me clean, so I appreciate him for that. And of course, thank you guys, like everybody over there and everybody in the shop.
Well, Josh, congratulations once again. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us. And we're going to let you go celebrate with all the shop guys over there on the Discord because I know they're going to be pumped for you.
Ooh, I can take a break now.
Great job.
Thank y'all.
Well, now joining us tonight's winner, Cody Kelly. And Cody, that was masterful. And we talked about it. We had a feeling that you love Myrtle Beach because you showed up for the season finale here. And I mean, you just drove to the front and you drove away when it counted at the end.
Oh yeah, definitely. I grew up going here, watched my dad race. Whenever I seen you guys were running here tonight, I was like, I gotta get back into ITZR and give it a shot because it's one of my good tracks.
Now, Cody, I know you run at Florence. I mean, you spent a lot of time, obviously, the whole family, Kelly family racing, running at Florence and doing, I mean, dominating, doing very well there. Did you ever get an opportunity to race Myrtle Beach before they closed it?
Yeah, I did. I I started racing there like a year or two right before it closed. I probably did like just a handful of races there, and we weren't too good yet, so we were just learning and stuff. But I really wish it was still here, man, because we've grown our team a lot and gotten a lot better. I wish we could try it again. When I pulled into victory lane like they used to in real life, and I was like, man, I wish I could have done this in real life. But it's cool that they have it on iRacing, and I got to experience it that way at least.
Well, Cody, you came into tonight. You had this championship battle going on around you. You might have the best seat in the house as they were battling side by side behind you. But how good did it feel to just be able to drive away? Like, how did you do that? How did you manage to get out front and save tire and still be one of the fastest cars at the end?
Well, I mean, qualified fourth, so I started fourth, and I immediately wanted to at least get to second, and I did that very quick because I felt like the other guys were riding, and I kind of rode in second a little bit. I'd back off of Josh a little bit, and I'd try to catch him some, and then he was pushing a little hard, and I'd back off a little bit, and then I don't even remember what lap it was on, but I felt like I had an opportunity to get up there to him and try to pass him, and I did, and then whenever I passed him, I just kept my bumper on his nose and just tried to manage the gap between me and him and not go too hard and save my right front and right rear, and it just worked out. And I figured there was going to be a couple cautions out that come later in the race, and I wanted to be in control of the race then and get them good restarts, and it just worked out like I needed it to.
Well, actually, Cody, I think probably what Jeff was asking is how the heck did you do that? Because because you were so fast all night long. And I mean that was my question too, is you were the fastest car on the racetrack from the point you took the lead to the, I mean, and that was pretty early, to the end of the race. At the end, those guys are battling for a championship, can't touch you. Do you feel like you figured something out with this car that you're able to save tires better than some of these other guys are?
I mean, at some tracks I'd say yeah, but some tracks no. I don't know. I've ran good here in this car on this track. I feel like I mean my brother did the opposite strategy that I did. He literally rode dead last the whole time, and um he had a little bit better tire than me at the end, but I guess the track position was key, and I don't know. I just was smooth around the track and like an eggshell under the gas pedal, and it just works out, man.
Well, Cody, we always like to talk to the guys about their real life racing, and it's been a while since we've gotten to talk to you. So, what's up next for Cody Kelly and the Kelly Racing?
So we'll definitely be at Florence this weekend. My brother, he'll be in a late model, number 5, and I don't think I'm gonna be in the late model this week. Last week at Florence we ran twins, and I won the first race. But we had motor problems at the end of the night, and so I don't think we'll be back with the late model at Florence. But I'll be in the truck at Florence, and yep, hopefully we get another win.
That's tough break in the late model in real life, Cody. But on the ITZR side, on the sim racing side, who do you want to give a shout out to tonight? Give thanks to.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Mason Johnson. He was spotting me tonight, and he kept the gaps for me. Let me know how far they were back and everything. I want to give a shout out to Casey, my brother. Everything he does for me. Everybody watching, and I think my dad's tuning in. All the Gooden boys, Cameron Hamilton, Daniel Pope, SPM boys. Just can't thank everybody enough.
Well, Cody, congratulations on a win. Your home track, you really showed out tonight, and it was a pretty impressive victory. Congratulations.
Yep, and let me I forgot I'm gonna name my sponsors too. Shug Steakhouse, Rains, North Industrial Machine, AK Performance, Justin Brooks Designs, and everybody else. I know I'm probably forgetting somebody, but everybody else helps out. And thank you guys for doing this for us. And congrats to Josh Cottle on the championship.
All right, Cody, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us. Great job tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Well, joining us now, our third place finisher, Brett Suggs. And Brett, right off the top, we wanted to talk to you about the car because I think that paint scheme had some special meaning for you tonight, right?
Yeah, sure did. We lost our dog Lily on early Sunday morning, so definitely a tough deal. We've had her for 12 years since she was a little puppy, so definitely it's hard, man. I mean, you know how it is. They're part of the family, so just wanted to have her out there and keep it clean. Didn't want to get any scratches on this thing, and put her on a good finish for a last ride there.
Well, really just sorry to hear that, Brett. We did point it out during the race. Obviously, really unfortunate, but very cool paint scheme there you got on the 33 car. But tonight, obviously another good run from you, man. We talked to you as often as probably any driver in any of these races, right? So what was the strategy tonight as you went through this race? Obviously, there's some guys that are running for big stakes tonight with those playoff drivers. Were you, as you were going around, were you as the strategy played out, were you thinking about kind of staying out of their way as well?
Yeah, I was definitely mindful of that. I'm here to try to win at least. I mean, I didn't get a win this whole season, but we definitely ran hard and got a lot of podiums for the times when I was in town. So definitely wanted to run it, to the best I could, but wanted to keep it clean too, and just be mindful of them guys, Jinx and Peyton there, especially because I think the other two guys are a little bit further back. But wanted to run them clean and everything, but still run them hard and just not do anything stupid to jeopardize their runs in the championship. The strategy was really just take care of it. I ran more practice tonight than I have pretty much all season, just because I wanted to have a good run and wanted to have Lily up front for the race. So yeah, I mean we kind of just stuck true to keeping the tires on it, but staying within the top 5 for some TV time, and it just kind of panned out there at the end the way we needed it to.
Well, Brett, it seemed like you had settled into a spot there, and at the end, you did have a lot of tire left. But was that battle with Josh Cottle, was that just too much to overcome there with him running on the outside to be able to do anything with Cody Kelly?
Yeah, I thought during that long run when we started to reel them guys in a little bit, we might have had a chance to get up there and play with the lead, but I didn't want to make a move on Peyton because I knew he was battling and Jinx was a spot or two in front of him, so I didn't want to mess up their run in the championship. But when it came down to that final restart, I really thought I had something for Jinx, and we got a good launch. But the top side on restarts here, especially late in the going at Myrtle Beach, can be pretty strong. And I was just talking to Jinx there after the race about it, and he had a lot less tire than we did there at the end, but the top side was just so good on that last couple of restarts that he was able to make it work. And I don't know if we would have had something for Cody there. Talked to him as well after the race, and we had a little bit better of tire, but just not the track position to be able to get it done.
Well, let's talk about the real life race car, Brett. I think you got something going on this week, do you not?
Yeah, we sure do. This coming Wednesday, we're racing Caraway for next round of the Cars Tour. It's going to be a one-day show between late model stocks and the pro cars. A big, well, I guess notable name you could say is Kyle Larson joining the late model stock field. So for whatever reason we're running on Wednesday, I guess that's the excuse we can use. But it'll be fun, man. I'm excited to get to Caraway. We've had some pretty good fortune there in the past, and I've been trying to take a lot of notes and really prepare for this race. We really need a good run to get around the halfway point of the season. So hoping for the best on Wednesday.
All right, Brett. Well, before we let you get out of here, is anybody you want to thank? Anybody that's helped you out this season?
Yeah, definitely. Just want to one more time give a shout out to racing in memory of my dog Lily and my parents. Just everything they've done for me on the racing side and just in life in general. Everybody that supports our iRacing program, McConey Setup Shop, Racer Tees, JA Motorsports, Lee and Shane in Discord. They were coaching me along throughout the race and keeping us safe and keeping the car looking nice. And then on the real racing side, again, we've got McConey Setup Shop. We've got Lake Norman Power Cleaning, North Creek Ponds, LMI Task Pack Technology Solutions. A lot of people that support our program, and we definitely couldn't do it without them. It's hard to do it as is with, a lot of the funding coming out of my pocket, but we make the most out of what we have and try to put on a good show every time we're on track.
Well, Brett, thanks for taking the time to talk with us. Congratulations on a fantastic run. We hope to see more of you next season. We'd love to see you in that championship battle maybe next season if time permits.
Yeah, appreciate it. And big shout out to you guys as well. I mean, ITZR, it's the best league for the fixed setup racing that you can do. I mean, it's right there with SAR. You guys are neck and neck for my favorite leagues. So appreciate everything you guys do, putting on some really good, fun races, and hoping to be back next season.
We appreciate that. Thanks so much, and congratulations on another fantastic run tonight.
Thanks, Jeff.
Well, Bill, before we get out of here, we're going to talk to one more guy because he was the crowd favorite tonight, and he's going to come home second in their championship standings. So joining us now, our fifth place finisher, going to come home second in the point standings, Peyton Howell, Baby Shark. The fans were out for you tonight in the Facebook chat. I don't know if you got a chance to look, but you definitely brought out a big crowd to watch you. And I know it's going to be almost a little heartbreaking to come up just one spot short.
Man, Baby Shark Nation was out there. They all came out of the water for that one tonight. But I gave it everything I had. I threw the kitchen sink at him, and he read everything that I threw at him. So, I mean, congrats to Josh. I feel like if the caution wouldn't have come out there after that long run, I was starting to run him down. Might have been a little bit different story. But it's how it goes. I guess second's decent. I wanted it. I really wanted it, and I told him sorry for moving him, but it coming down to a championship, we're not really teammates at the end of the race.
He did give you a compliment, Peyton. I mean, I know you feel a little dejected, man, but still a fantastic season, top 5 tonight, and obviously second in the final point standings, and a decent payday for second as well. But he did give you a compliment, even though you felt like you moved him and stuff like that. He felt like you raced him really clean. It could have been a lot worse. And but tell me, how does I know you're dejected, but how does it feel to know you bested, this field of drivers? You only lost to one on the season title.
Well, if you'd have told me that I was going to finish second in the points at the start of the year, I'd have told you you're crazy, because this car has taken me so long. Like, it took me probably till about one race, probably Lucas Oil, to really figure out how to save tires and still be fast and not just go straight to a super save. But, yeah, if you'd have told me at North Wilkesboro when I didn't even make the race that I would be side by side for a championship, I would have probably laughed in your face.
Well, Peyton, let's talk about your season, because I'm going to say right now, I think you're probably one of the most improved drivers of this season. And I think you can admit you've had speed in the past, but you tend to get yourself collected and things, get yourself in trouble. What was different about this season that you just seem to be able to put the whole thing together here?
I think that it's this car. Once I figured out how to save tires, it's a lot like what I used to drive in real life. I drove a Super Street, which is just an older late model, and you have to kind of save tires in that, even long races. And it's got a lot of grip, but if you overstep it, it's gonna get really loose. That's about how this car is. And the super is just like you can go balls to the wall the whole time and nobody falls off. But this one actually takes some. You have to save some tire at least to be able to be fast at the end. I think I finally figured that out at the end of the season.
Well, I think it's pretty safe to say that we've been impressed. A lot of people have been impressed at the season that you've had, Peyton, and it's been fantastic to watch, man. So congratulations on second place. That's just, like I said, absolutely fantastic with the group that races here night in and night out to do that well, man. You got to feel really good.
Yeah, it was fun. I'd like to real quick just thank everybody at EPI for bringing me on, showing me kind of what to do in this car for the playoffs, and then Trevor Edwards, he was a big help showing me, telling me their nurses what to do, and Adrenaline Captures, Martin Sports. I know he was watching tonight, so I hope I did him proud. BSRM, Brett, for what he does for me, and then I'd like to thank everybody that came out. My mom, my dad. My dad was probably my biggest cheerleader there at the end, coming down to that one, and my girlfriend Michaela. She watches every week, and just everybody else, everybody at Baby Shark Nation that came out tonight to watch that
Baby
one.
Shark Nation.
Yeah.
Well, Peyton, before we let you get out of here, one thing I was going to ask you, your dad is running for a title tomorrow night. He had a great run going, got collected in an incident, got taken out late in that one. And then you got Bladen Edwards, your teammate, that's also going to be running for a championship tomorrow night. What advice would you give them going into that you might have picked up tonight?
Well, Bladen, can't really go with this one, but qualify. I'm gonna tell my dad not to knock the wall down like he did. He was probably gonna be on the pole if he didn't knock the wall down. But I think for both of them, just go at the same pace you need to go. Don't really push it, but don't underdrive it. Don't get caught up in stuff, and you should just try to be there at the end and have a chance.
And by the way, Peyton, we absolutely loved that paint scheme tonight.
Thank you.
Well, Peyton, congratulations on a fantastic season. We look forward to maybe seeing you come out one spot ahead next season when we come back for season 11 of the Elite Performance Industries Late Model Shootout Series.
Yeah, I'll be ready whenever we start again. But also thank you all for putting on this league. It's probably my favorite league to run, and it's a lot of good drivers. Hopefully we can, like you said, come up and just get one more spot in the championship next season.
All right, Peyton, congratulations. Thanks for stopping by.
Yep, thank you.
Well, Bill, that is it for the Elite Performance Industries Late Model Shootout Series. I think these playoffs have been a success because that was another banger of a season, right?
I'm still kind of. I mean, Cottle was talking about it. You know, he was trying to catch his breath at the end of the race. I thought he would have, been trying to catch his breath after screaming at, in the car, because I mean, winning a championship is unbelievable in this series. But I'm trying. That was a lot of anxiety for me just watching these guys race. I know how much they put into this stuff, and man, was that fun! That was a fantastic finale to the season.
Yeah, that was so much fun. That whole season was just fantastic. I mean, absolutely massive car counts from night one, carried throughout the season. And we're not done yet. The County Road Custom Late Model Challenger Series tomorrow night. 4 more drivers. One of them is going to be a champion, and we saw it tonight. Blake Thromer ended up finishing 8th tonight. Pretty solid run. But it seemed like everybody that's going to be racing tomorrow had some issues, struggled a bit. It's wide open for tomorrow night. I can't pinpoint one guy and say he's the favorite for the title.
No, I wouldn't even do that. That would be a disservice to the other three. I don't know. It's going to be interesting that, these guys show up and they run and they test basically on Monday nights. They figure out what they can do, what they can't do. Now they're going to debrief with the other guys on their teams that ran tonight and try to figure out what they can do differently. And man, it is going to be a brawl tomorrow night. I mean, you can see how long green flag racing we had tonight. I expect a lot more of the same tomorrow night because that's, they're going to want to stay in it, right? You got to be there to win it at the end. So, man, tune in tomorrow night. It is going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Another Islander in 125. We didn't get to really talk too much. It was so much excitement going on all night. We didn't really get to talk about Islander in too much, but Bill, it is a Caribbean bar in Ohio. Yeah, I mean, and I've heard from Rick that there's like new bar, there's a new sound system. I mean, I keep looking at this place like, oh, I got to make a trip to Ohio at some point so we can go hang out at the Islander Inn.
Yeah, you can see the video of the party at on their Facebook page. So go over there, check that out. Also link the website on the bottom of this broadcast. So you can take a look there too as well. Obviously, Simrap Market is on there as well, and Elite Performance Industries. So you can just link right straight from this. But yeah, another Islander in 125 tomorrow night.
Yeah, so much fun. Thank you to everybody that hung out with us on Facebook. And again, thank you to Elite Performance Industries for another fantastic season. Season 11 will be coming up. Announcements on our Facebook page when the time comes for signups. Make sure you're following it. Might want to follow our Discord as well. Congratulations to our champion, Josh Cottle. And be with us tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on Twitch, because we will crown a County Road Custom Late Model Challenger Series champion tomorrow night.